Hey guys, so The Stand is out. It has now premiered on CBS All Access, and we have gotten episode number 1. Now, I am a huge fan of Stephen King. I'm a huge fan of the book. I've listened to the audiobook, so I was really looking forward to this series. I never did watch the last miniseries, which I've heard I should watch, so maybe eventually I will, but now I'm in this one. Now, let me give you my review. And then after that, I will give spoiler recaps. So first, I'm going to start with a review. So if you haven't watched it yet and you're deciding on whether you want to watch it or not, don't worry. You can definitely check it out. I'm not going to spoil anything. But then at the second half, I will with fair warning. Don't worry.
Hey, Tessa from Mama's Geeky here. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel.
All right. So what I thought was very interesting about The Stand is that it starts way towards the end, not at the end, but way towards the end. They're clearly leaving the big ending and a big thing that happens, which I'm not going to say, for one of the final episodes. But I found it interesting how they jump back and forth. Now, normally I'm not a giant fan of jumping back and forth. I think it can be confusing and muddled, but I do understand why they did it this way, and I'm interested to see how it continues throughout the rest of the series. I do think it's weird because it gives you little hints of like what has already happened, and then it pushes you back to the beginning and you're like, wait. So for someone who hasn't read the book or listened to the audiobook, I can imagine that this could be a little confusing. So get ready for that. If you don't know anything really about this series, the way it jumps back and forth can definitely be a little muddled and a little much. I was a giant fan of several different Easter eggs that I saw. Derry and Sons was the name of one of the stores, which, as we know, it took place in Derry. Harold references Terminator 2, Judgment Day, and he even has a poster of Eraserhead on his wall. So stuff like that was really fun. I love Easter eggs, and I'm sure there's 1,000 more, even just in episode 1, and I can only imagine what we're going to see in the future. So I thought that was really cool. So basically the story of The Stand, there's a Mother Abigail and the Dark Man, the walking dude, Randall Flagg in this one, but it seems to be the same guy that's consistent throughout the Stephen King books and series. If you really, seriously, you guys, if you haven't read Dark Tower, you should. I haven't seen the movie because I heard it will ruin it for me, but the Dark Tower series is really good, and that's supposed to be the same guy, which I think is very interesting. But I love how Stephen King does that. Like, how could you not? But now I'm getting off topic. Let's go back to The Stand. So yeah, we get a quick glimpse of Mother Abigail and Randall Flagg in this. I think they're both perfectly cast. I'm intrigued. I love James Marsden. I'm intrigued about him as Stu. When I first heard that casting, I wasn't sure it was going to work, but it seems like from this episode, it's gonna work. Maybe, I think so. And the casting of Harold, man, I wish that kid. He's so good. He's so good. He's so good at playing like twisted, right? You can tell he's just off. And they do a very good job of portraying that in this first episode. So if you like Stephen King, if you like stuff like this, you're going to really love this. It's almost a little too close to home because it's literally about a super flu that gets out and kills almost all of the population. And, you know, when they filmed this, they didn't know what was going to be going on right now in 2020. But hey, here we are. But at least the vaccine is on its way, right, guys? So this is really good. I'm intrigued with the first episode. I'm sucked in. I'm trying to avoid any and all reviews because I know a lot of critics got to watch up to with 3 episodes left, and I haven't. So I don't really want to know exactly how they're going to portray this. I know spoilers. I've read the book. But I'm interested in what they're going to take from it and what they're not going to take from it. One thing that I love, so this started in a military base, which you very clearly see in this episode, and the thing they describe in the book is when they die or as they're getting sicker, their necks like bulge out. And the way they portrayed this was disgusting and perfect all at once. And that is what I will say. But now let's get into spoilers a little bit of what took place in The Stand episode 1. Okay, so a quick recap of The Stand episode 1. We are in for a wild ride. The super flu has been released, and we've seen how it has been released with Cambion, which I'm so excited that they did that. I'm really excited how they showed that clearly the the walking dude, Randall Flagg, had a big part in this. You see that foot holding, they realize there's a contamination out, and he hits the button to lock down, and the door goes to close, and it sticks open, and he decides, what am I going to do? I'm going to run and see my family. And he's the one who releases it on everybody, right? That's why it's called Captain Trips. And so he sticks his foot in the door, and you could see that it wasn't just a malfunction, right? It was Randall Flagg setting this all up. It's very much like the Emperor in Star Wars, right? He's got his hands in everything, and he's very smart and meticulous and has set everything up. So we've seen Mother Abigail, and we've seen Randall Flagg, and I think they're both really good castings. I'm really excited to see what Skarsgård does with Randall Flagg. We've just gotten a quick glimpse of his face, when he's in the back seat at the very end scene, which I thought was very interesting. Like I said, it's going back and forth. So you see the guy leaving the military base, about to spread the super flu unknowingly to the entire world and cause mass devastation, and he sees a hitchhiker. He does not stop to pick up the hitchhiker, but then when he looks in his mirror, his hitchhiker is back there with his baby. So this is Randall Flagg. Mwahaha. I have put out this horrible disease to the world. Mwahaha. That's basically what you get. And just that look, right? Just like his brother did an incredible job with Pennywise, I think he's going to do a really, really good job with Randall. And he terrifies me already, so that says a lot. I think Whoopi Goldberg is perfect as Mother Abigail. We haven't gotten a lot of her, but we see the dreams, right? So everybody has a dream in The Stand, and it's, a dream and a nightmare, right? Do they go to Mother Abigail, who is nice and happy, or do they go to Randall Flagg, who is dark and not so good? And it depends on the type of person. I love how we're seeing Harold in these different elements, right? You're seeing him when this all first started and he was bullied, and then he's going to get Franny, who I'm wondering if they will show. I think they kind of showed her pregnant. She is pregnant in the book at the beginning, so I'm curious how they're going to do that. They showed her pregnant at the end, or towards the end, when she is with Stu. They did let you know, they gave you that hint that they're going to be together. Harold's clearly not okay with it. I mean, he loves Franny, right? He obviously loves her. I was his sister's friend, but he's got a thing for her, which we saw when he was looking at her picture and, having his alone time. And then, of course, he's now taken her with him on his trip to the CDC, and he's going to start tagging stuff everywhere. Now, in the book, he's a heavy child, and he eats candy bars. He also does tag and leave notes on where they're going, but he leaves candy bar wrappers as well. And so people follow that trail, and that's how they end up finding him. They're sure to be on their way to end up meeting up with Stu somehow. I mean, Stu, they've been running tests on him. They take him to that facility. He ends up getting out. I loved the J.K. Simmons being in there as the general. That was a great addition. I feel like Bryan Cranston was the voice of the president, but I'd have to go back and listen again. But when I heard it, I went, I feel like that's him. I feel like that's him. So all of these are spoilers for this, obviously. I love how, Harold's on the body removal team, and how they're showing them to just go into these places and have all these bodies, and all their necks are just exploded, and they got snot all over the place, and maggots, and it's so crazy to see this book come to life. Like I said, I've listened to the book, I've read the book, but I haven't watched the miniseries before. So to see it all is interesting. And I feel like the one thing I'm nervous about is the way they're jumping so much, is that people that haven't read the book, it's going to be really hard for them to connect to characters and realize the connections between the characters. So when you're reading the book, you obviously don't know at the very beginning that Stu and Franny are going to be in a relationship. You read their relationship grow and blossom, and the chemistry that they end up getting. And I'm worried that this series is going to miss a lot of that and a lot of the major connections. Harold, you see him at the beginning, he's a little creepy kid, and he starts to grow up and get a little bit older, and he's always a little dark and a little weird and a little twisted. And he's conflicted a lot, right? And you know that. Do I do good? Do I do bad? And you do get that in this, but you don't get it until further along in the book. Along the way, you realize how conflicted he is. And the fact that they're putting it right out there is very interesting. And how they ended with that line, I just might kill her too, or along those lines. He's saying, I'm going to kill Stu and I'm going to kill her, meaning Franny. And it's very interesting because that comes much later in the book. So I'm interested to see how they're going to pull this off, but I think they just want people to be into it. I'm just afraid it's going to lose a lot of people who haven't read the book by all the jumping back and forth. It could lose a lot of chemistry between the characters and really the bond the viewers have with the characters. Hopefully not. This is only the first episode that I have seen. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more. And that's what I've got to say about that. You guys let me know what you think down below in the comments. Be sure to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on videos like this one. As always, you can follow me over on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Mama's Geeky over there. MAMASGEKY.